Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Put a Ring on It, Season 2, Episode 1. Are we gluttons for punishment, or what, you guys? What are we doing back watching this show after we were so confused about what was going on the show last season? Now here we are back again. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on, y'all. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with me? But I will say, last season, I had a headache. I was so confused as to why this experiment was even a thing. However, a lot of you in the comment section really helped me out. Y'all gave a lot of good explanations. A lot of married people even gave some good explanations. And I was just like, okay, like, this is cool. Because I'm kind of getting a different perspective, which is why I love talking to y'all. So I kind of got a little bit more the basis of the show and what it was that they were trying to do and how the experiment could actually benefit a couple that was on the fence about getting married, because it could show you a lot of things. And honestly, if you can make it through this experiment, child, you can make it through almost anything, because this is a very risky experiment. But a lot of y'all helped me, and you'll probably have to continue to help me in season 2. But Dr. Nicole did start off saying a couple of things this season that also kind of had me like, okay, I kind of can see where she's coming from. So she dropped some gems in the meantime that I'm going to try to mention, and we're just going to try to get this review done as best as we can, because per usual, y'all, I got somewhere to go. Like, I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know when I started leading this active of a life, but I'm telling you, I'm tired. I really just want to get into bed, but I've already committed to things, and I don't like to flake. So let's talk about this show. So the first couple that we have is Darian and Alexia. Darian mentioned that he was part of the group Field Mob, and I no shades, you guys. I was like, who is that? I don't know who this man is. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. But then I went and I looked him up, and I found the song Sick of Being Lonely. Y'all remember, I'm so sick of being lonely. Something, my man, is something. I don't remember the words. I want to know how it feels to be loved. I remember that part. Any other night. Is that the part that Darian did? That was the best part of the song. Any other night, you be acting like a bugaboo. That's the best part of the whole entire song in the chorus. But the hook, I mean. So anyway, y'all, that is the group that he was a part of. I believe that Darian is not aware that we're not in that time per se, because I think he believes that people just acknowledge who he is immediately. And if I would see Darian on the street, I would be like, oh, okay, how you doing? How you doing, brother? I wouldn't know who he was. Alexia played in professional basketball, so I was like, go ahead, sis. All right, okay. So they both two good-looking, tall people. She's 34 years old. They've been together on and off for 14 years. I imagine that the off probably had a lot to do with the distance, them being on the road, maybe some groupies, maybe some stuff going on. They don't say that, but they did say on again, off again. I was on the road, she was on the road. And we all know long-distance relationships can be taxing and very tough. And then when you got the celebrity involved in it as well, probably even more so taxing. So they've been on again, off again. Alexia is kind of, SHIT, get off the pot. For her, you know who I am, you know what I'm about. And what's interesting about this season in comparison to last season, with two couples, one couple isn't like this. The men do not have a problem with their woman per se. Not right off anyway. I think we're going to find out more. But right off, they say that they love the woman. This is the one for them. They know what they're about. She's been there to support me. She's held me down. I know she's the right one. We've had good times. I've already done this, and this. However, there are some fears around marriage in general for them. And it leads me, the reason why it was interesting to hear them say that is because it reminds me of conversations that I've had with family and friends. They'll say, well, why are you not married? And you'll be like, I mean, I can't really marry myself. I don't do the proposal. So, I mean, somebody would have to ask me. And if said somebody has some feelings about marriage in general, not necessarily about me, then I am not going to be married. You see how that goes? So there are, some people who just have those hangups about marriage, and some people let you know right off, and some people don't let you know and just proceed to waste some years of your time and then let you know, I'm not trying to marry you. So yeah, you gotta It's just something to, that was something that was interesting to me, something to look at. But I will say, ladies, if they tell you right off that they don't want to get married, believe them, go your own way, and get with somebody who does actually value marriage and doesn't have those fears around it. It's really not your job to solve their fears. They got to get that together before they meet you. That's how I feel. Other people, if y'all want to work with it, go right ahead, but it's risky. All right, so they want to be together, okay? Darian says that word marriage, it started to change people. People change when they put that title on it. And I've heard that time and time again. I don't know. It's been 14 years, bro. Like, I don't really know what you want me to do with that whole information that you giving me, but that's how he feels. And Alexia, she just ready. She ready. Okay. But he don't want to be put under no pressure. Okay. So, then we have our next couple. I want to get all of the names right. So hold on. LaRonda and Jay, they've been dating for 3 years. LaRonda is super successful. LaRonda is very high up in the ranks of whatever her career is. Jay is a successful comedian. He's still grinding it out, but he's done. I knew him. Like, when I saw his face, I recognized him from different like comedy skits. I've seen him at some comedy shows out here before. I think he's hosted some things that I've been to. So I recognized his face when I saw him. I was like, he looks familiar. But for him, it's just a money thing. He says that he's already written his engagement speech. He loves LaRonda. He knows he's had some great times with LaRonda. He wants LaRonda. He feels like LaRonda is the one for him. However, he wants to step his money up. There's a lot more things that he wants to do financially before he marries her. So he want to get that together. So that is his reasoning. Okay, what's next? Next couple is Jessica and Eric. They've been together for 4 years. Jessica and Eric is probably the only couple where the man is not even sure if he would want to marry her. But Eric is a NFL player, well, post NFL. They're adjusting to their life after the NFL. Jessica, I guess she is a house woman of the home. I don't think they mentioned what she did. But they have been battling several issues. I believe there's been some infidelity, and Jessica seems to be insecure, and probably based on what they went through. Extremely territorial. She's always on the lookout, trying to see what he is up to. He believes that if she gets that together, then maybe he would be more willing to marry her. But right now, it just seems like a bunch of pressure. She's too territorial. She's always nagging me. She's always complaining. She always think I'm up to something. And right now, he just doesn't see the point in doing so. So that's what we got right now, you guys. Those are the 3 couples. I guess they decided, I think last season they had 4, right? They had 4. Oh, by the way, Mike and Shay, this is a plug for their YouTube channel. They have a YouTube. They are still getting married. I think they recently bought a home earlier in the year. Beautiful home. But they are planning on getting married in October. Their YouTube channel just consists of Mike doing stuff around the house, cooking, or doing what he normally would do, and Shay twerking a lot of the videos. So there's that. All right, let's move into it. So Dr. Nicole comes and she kind of gets, to know everybody. She lays down the information of what we're going to do, the social experiment, how they're going to date other people. I'm sure they knew that. But this time they're going to date other people and they're not going to have rules. And I was just like, say what now? You say y'all going to date other people and ain't going to be no rules. Like, when we start this on network, Dr. Nicole, when did we start this? They're not going to have any rules. Okay. So first she started out telling them to list their rules and then proceeds to tell them that there will be no rules. And y'all know the no rules, the rules or the boundaries were normal. No kissing, no grabbing booty, no sticking and licking. Jessica very interestingly said no exchanging IGs or any other personal information. So we know they probably got a problem there. But they're going to date this time with no rules. So everybody just kind of like, looking at the other person. And let me tell you who is cracking me up in this process already. And that is LaRonda. LaRonda keeps telling what is his name? Jay? Is it Jay, y'all? She keep telling him with decisions come consequences. With decisions come consequences. And I'm just like, that sound like a threat. Even Dr. Nicole tells her that that's a threat. And I was like, see, you got to watch women like LaRonda because they play petty for petty and they don't play fair. So that means if he go out and kiss another woman on this date, she gonna mess around and have sex with one of his best friends during the comedy show night. She looked like the type of woman that's like, oh, you want to be petty. There will be consequences for that. Yes, I'm gonna screw your best friend at the show. Ooh, anyway, okay. So the first date that goes on is who went on the first date actually? Okay, the first date is Darian and Alexia. So the men are going first. Darian's getting ready for his date. Alexia, girl, you my girl. You my girl. Okay, I like you, but I was real upset that Alexia was laying on that couch like that. I was like, now Alexia, he about to go on a date with another woman. Get up. Now you got to be looking like, what? Like, I know you coming home to all of this. She was laid back on the couch like, She was under a blanket. So when the girl comes in and shows up, Darian, give her a hug. Alexia just kind of sitting on the couch looking. The girl comes in and they're real good at picking out like whatever your type is, because that girl, she didn't look like Alexia, but she kind of was brown skinned. She had the long hair, middle part. Like she had that same type of vibe that Darian probably likes, and they picked that for him. I forgot the girl's name, but the girl say she perfect. Okay, that's what she told us, baby. No, this wasn't the one that said she was perfect. Excuse me. That was another girl. We'll talk about her in a minute. But, she had a thick southern accent wherever the girl may have been from. But definitely looked like his type. Dark brown skin. She had the long hair. And Alexia was just like, how he act when you came to the door. And she was just like, oh, he was just friendly. He smiled. And Alexia said, oh, okay. All right. So they get ready to go on their date, and Darian seemed excited to be going on this date. A little nervous, he said, but he seemed to be excited to be going on a date with this woman. But he is nervous in general about the process as a whole, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't cross any lines that could potentially mess up his relationship, right? Well, I don't know where they found this old seductress girl at, but the whole date, it started off good. Okay, it started off good. Darian mentioned his field mob days, and they talk about, the time that he was rapping and things was good. And they talk about, why his relationship and kind of where he is with it. Hold on real quick. I want to make sure I got everything right. They talk about various things, but eventually they get to the point where the girl just kind of is just like, well, when Darian says he don't want to cross any lines, he don't want to step across any boundaries, she was like, well, what if it ain't no boundaries? What would you do? What would you do if I were to do this to you? And Darian was just like, I don't really know. I mean, she was really, did she say what, was it a kiss that she offered? She offered something, not that, but she offered something, and she was just like, well, what if I want to get close to you? Like, she was pushing up on her real strong to where Darian was trying to decide, like, okay, I got my woman at home. Do I go for the no boundaries and take my chances with this woman? Do I go home a well-behaved man? Like, what should I do? So when he do get back home, he telling Alexia about the date. He telling her that did nothing happen, but something definitely could have popped off. And you know what? While you acting smart, it ain't off the table, because I can call her back. And while Darian is going on and he's trying to tell Alexia, like, the date was fun, the date was lighthearted, it kind of reminded me of certain things. I think he was trying to say it reminded me of the things that we used to do, and it reminded me of the fun that I guess maybe they're not having as much of. And Alexia says, you know what, stop it. I don't want to hear you talk about what some other woman got that I don't got. And that's not really what he was doing. I think he was just trying to explain, this is where we used to be at one point in time, and we're not there anymore. But now it's time to address really why you guys are not in that place anymore. But Alexia just wasn't feeling it. She ended up walking off while he was trying to explain it. She was just like, I'm not finna listen to you talk about how much fun you had with some other woman. So yeah, that's pretty much how that went. Who's next? Jay's date was with a girl who was not very memorable. All I remember is that she was telling us she was in sales. She's got an online hair care business, and she let us know that all her hair was real sugar. But their date seemed pretty good. He did mention that with LaRonda, one of their problems is kind of having that open line of communication and not really talking about things in the way that they should. He let us know he was a Sagittarius, child. I was just like, oh, not the sag life. Not the sag life. But he does say that he wants to be committed and he wants to have a family. However, it's just certain things about LaRonda that, you know, they still need to nail down, the communication being one of them. So that was his date with old girl. Let's see who's next. Eric's date, the ex-NFL player. Now, I ain't gonna say that I think Eric was gonna do something, but I think if given the opportunity and no cameras was around, Eric would probably do something. Not with this girl though, because I don't think she was the type to do that. But if somebody were to push up on Eric, it could be a possibility. And Jessica seems to think that too. The girl he went on a date with was definitely his type. This was the one that said that she was perfect in every way. He talks about how he has had conversations about marriage but not really ready, and she was just like, oh, well, see, I'm the type, I'm not even going to approach a man like that, like, because I want you to decide. I want to know that it's real. I don't want to be putting pressure on you. If I got to put pressure on you, then it's not really real. Then they talk about how him and Jessica got together and it was kind of a little side piece situation. You know, they both was a side. Nobody was a main entree. And was I really lying to him if we wasn't together? That girl was kind of looking at him like, yeah, this ain't really the best. This ain't really the best idea. But overall, I guess the date was cool. You can tell he was very highly attracted to her. I think she also was attracted to him. But we learned of some things in their relationship that's going on. Jessica is insecure because of how they started out. How they started out wasn't necessarily the best. And then as they continued, I believe there's been some other problems. And he's just not really trying to get married. I don't think Eric wants to get married at all. I don't think it's to, I think it's to Jessica and anybody else. Sorry, y'all, I had a text. When they get back to the roundtable discussion, Alexia does end up walking off again. Darian made a comment that old girl was almost too perfect, and that has said I think that's what set Alexia off in the house. What set her off at Dr. Nicole's was him saying that she reminded me of how we used to be. And Dr. Nicole simply asked her, do you want to hear about the dates or not? And she was just like, she does want to hear about the dates. Okay, well, if you want to hear about something that your partner is going through, you have to be willing to listen. Nobody wants to talk to a partner that's not willing to listen, that's going to be upset. And it reminded me of what Ayanla always says. You have to be able to maintain control when somebody is trying to express themselves to you. Because if you start to cry, or if you start to express any type of extreme emotion, that other person will shut down to protect your feelings, and then you never really know what's going on. So it's a hard thing to do, but I understood what she was saying. All right. What else happened? LaRonda and Jay. LaRonda continues to make her decisions come with consequences. And Dr. Nicole said, look, now, are you making threats? Because that definitely sounds like a threat. Just be careful with what you put out there. That was all Dr. Nicole was saying. If you're putting it out there, just be careful with those words. And as far as Jessica and Eric, that's an interesting dynamic because Dr. Nicole points out Jessica is good when Eric feeds her the things that she wants to hear. When Eric tells her things that she doesn't want to listen to or things that aren't necessarily right, Jessica don't want to hear it. She shuts down. She becomes argumentative. And so if that's the case, if that's what you guys are always going to be going through, are you really ready for this relationship? Are you really ready for marriage? Because when you go into a marriage, You have to want to hear it all, the good and the bad. You want the whole package. It's not just you only want what's good or what feels good to you. You have to want to see the whole thing, so that way you know what you're dealing with. And that I did like, because ain't nothing worse than, getting with somebody and you never really saw their bad side, and then when you finally do see it, you be like, ooh, child, this is this is pretty rough. I don't know if I really like this. So that was nice. And she also told her that feelings are not facts. Do not turn your feelings into facts, because Jessica was saying that she feels like in this process, he gonna try to smash somebody, because that's all he's ever worried about is smashing. And Dr. Nicole was like, you really think that this man doesn't care about anything else, that he spends his time thinking about who he's gonna have sex with? And Jessica was like, yeah. So yeah, I liked what Dr. Nicole said at the end. But you know, when he shows you what is great, you're all good. But when he shows you what is bad, you don't like it. And you want him to show you everything, good and bad, so you can know if you want to deal with it. So that's really what's going on. Of the couples that I probably see having the most trouble might be Jessica and Eric, just because of, like, I do believe there's a lot of issues there. I think Alexia and Darian overall are probably going to be okay. And I think between LaRonda and Jay, we even saw it in the previews, I think Jay has some personal issues unrelated to LaRonda that is making him feel like he can't be a husband. And I think they're going to explore that some more. So you guys let me know what you think. I know I forgot a lot of stuff. My notes weren't the best. I promise you guys I'm going to improve, because my time is opening up a lot where I can really focus like I want to. But the weekends are just crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I need to start waking up early in the morning and doing notes and then recording. I think that might help. But y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all for the next video. Bye.